Hi, my name is Valerie Long, and this is my final persuasive speech. Today, I would like to talk about dating websites and how they affect everyday culture and people, and how they're getting around the world, and how they're communicating with one another and socializing, and actually incorporating themselves into society by using things such as Tinder and Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just social media in general is really exposing people to talking to people, having conversations with people, direct messaging people, FaceTiming people, and just allowing people to know who they are, but with still a glass window in front of them. Although social media is so strongly inflicted on our society today, it's still a barrier between us and another person, and that's the screen. Within the screen, it kind of protects people from actually having to speak to someone face to face. For instance, if you use Tinder, which is a dating account that a lot of people tend to use nowadays to get in contact with people, to go on dates with people, or just looking for someone to hang out with, they can go through the website and meet people through there to have a conversation with them and figure out whether or not they want to go on a date, or if they would just like to end it there and keep it as friends or whatnot. And when they use this dating website, it's kind of a way out. I don't really know exactly how to say it, but it's like almost stopping the world and just talking to somebody without limitations, without somebody judging you, without somebody looking at you. You don't have to save face or anything like that. You could just communicate with somebody freely because you're protected by that screen and by that account, and you'll be fine. Because if you just want out of it, you could just swipe out of it, and then you could go on to another person on the account and try the process over again. With these dating websites, it kind of stops people from having to go out and meet people, which could be good and bad. It's bad because people are now not knowing how to interact with other people when they're actually face to face with them. But it's good because now instead of having to go to a club or a bar or something like that to meet somebody, or just passing them by in a grocery store, you can actually go online and find somebody for yourself that has a lot in common with you, shares interests, wants to do things you want to do, and things like that. When you use Tinder, it allows you to swipe. So if you swipe to the left, you are choosing to just continue to scroll through people. So basically judging by whether you think they're cute or not by their profile picture is if you take them on a date or not. So, or ask them on a date, I mean. So if you swipe right, then you'll get transferred to their account and you'll be able to talk to them and see if you're interested in them, if you want to go on a date with them, and how you'll set it up and everything like that. So it could work out perfectly, and a beautiful relationship can sprout from that. But there's also other things on social media, such as Instagram and stuff like that, where Instagram allows you to direct message people, and you could just directly, if you like all their pictures that they're posting on their webpage and just enjoying the people by their pictures, you could just direct message them and tell them, hey, like, we should link up, I'll meet you here or whatever, and then they can decide whether or not they could respond to you. Or you could like their pictures if you just like to remain friends with them, or comment on their pictures if you like their pictures, anything like that. So Instagram really allows you to see more of a background of a person than Tinder does. Tinder, it's more current. So on Tinder, you could post selfies of yourself, which are pictures of yourself that you take of yourself, selfies. You can post those selfies on your Tinder account, but primarily they are current. Where on Instagram, most people have had Instagram for like years. For instance, I've had it since I want to say I was 11 or 12 years old when I first had my Instagram account. So there could be like a lot of pictures from their past, and you could really just pry into their life and see what their life was like, past, current, and maybe even like what they're gonna do in the future. So you could really get a feel on that person and their likes and stuff like that. And moving on past social media, just on our phones alone, we are communicating with people through calling them on the phone, being able to talk to people and hear their voices. And the biggest of all is FaceTime. When we get to use FaceTime, it just draws a whole nother level of opportunities to us. We are able to actually see the people that we are talking to and interact with them. There's this term that we use on social media nowadays where if somebody is pretending to be someone they're not, for instance, if I were to take a picture of Jennifer Lopez and put it on my profile picture and then say, oh, I'm Jennifer Lopez, and start trying to contact people and hit them up and say, oh yeah, I'm Jennifer Lopez, like I have long brown hair, you know, I'm like super tall and Mexican, which I totally am not, but then people will think that I'm that person, and that's called catfishing. So that's basically when you're trying to get people to believe that you're somebody else because either you're insecure about what you look like or you're just playing a game, what have you, and that's the worst case scenario ever that can happen on social media. You do not want to get catfished. But on the other hand, if you're not being catfished, you can tell that you're not if you try to FaceTime that person. On the show Catfish that is always on MTV, they always try to FaceTime that person, and when the person doesn't answer the FaceTime call, that's how they know that that person is catfishing, because they don't want to show their face, because FaceTime shows you in your current state. Like if I'm outside, inside, wherever I'm at and I answer my phone, that's where it's going to show. It's going to be me. As there's no possible way to just catfish yourself like that unless you have that person with you. Like if I had Jennifer Lopez with me and I was like, oh, answer the phone for me, I'm scared I'm totally catfishing or whatever, you know what I mean? So there's that point of view, but in all reality, social media has really just upped our game in meeting people and just showing love in our society and things like that. I know that on social media I have over 2,000 followers. Of those 2,000 followers, I know some of the people just on social media. Like I've never actually met those people in real life. So it's kind of helped me when I would be in high school and I'd go to football games and I'd like see people that I followed on social media. I'm like, oh, I know that person from social media or whatever like that. So it's kind of like you're familiar with what's around you and you get that feel of knowing what's around you, what you're getting into when you go out in public and things like that. Also getting to meet people and seeing what they're like, even if you're trying to find love. Love is like so important in the world. It's what makes the world go round, and it truly makes people happy, and you could definitely find love through social media. There's no limit to that. Whether you're a Christian, you can go on Christian Mingle. There's even a dating website for farmers. There's really just no limit to your success. It's unbelievable. Also with social media, it's just so broad to the point where you can even find people who live in different states, different countries, anything like that, and you can still find a way to connect. Just don't be have tunnel vision, really, because if you use social media and you think, oh, I'm not going to find anybody, social media, dating online isn't right for me, then you're really not going to be able to expand to different options of dating and maybe actually finding someone for you. So just be open-minded is basically what I'm trying to get across. But thank you for listening to my speech.